What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to show you a bike from the company Ride1Up. This one's called the Turris, and it's an adventure touring e-bike. Lightweight frame design, smooth, quiet power delivery. Retails right now at $11.95, and it comes in 3 color choices. You can get ivory white, graphite gray, or this is the forest green. The Turris has a 750 watt rear hub motor fed by a 20 amp controller. It's capable of class 3 speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. It has a frame integrated 48 volt, 14 amp hour battery pack, 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes, 27.5 by 2.4 wheel and tire package, 7 mechanical gears, headlight, tail light, brake light, and for pedal assist, it's got the Ride1Up current-based cadence system, which also allows the rider to customize how much power is delivered by the pedal assist system. Now that you know the basics about the Turris, let me try to answer some of the things that you can't read online. First off, is it capable of the 28 mile an hour class 3 speeds? And what's the power like? Here's how my testing went in those areas. Well, let's see how it does with speed. It's supposed to be 28 mile an hour capable. I just have to rotate the pedals because it's a cadence sensor. It's like the speedo is right on track. I'm not pushing at all. No effort. I'm just turning the pedals. There's 27, 28 easily. Gosh, 0 effort. This is quick. It's a quick little bike. 27, 28. Yeah, so verified. It'll go 28, no problem, no effort. All right, what better way to show you what the power's like than with the hill climb test. So we're at the test hill. We climb the hill throttle only, and we time it. So no help for me, no pedaling. See how fast it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Off to a slow start. This bike has a very gradual start. 750 watt bikes normally climb this about 25 seconds. The fast ones will do it like 20 seconds. It's pretty rare though. Most of the time they fall around 25. This one's peaking, I can see about 900 watts, 920, 938. I've seen it peak as high as like 980. I don't think I've seen it go over 1,000 on peak watts yet. Slows down here on the steep part. Gonna make it on its own though. And we cut the time right here. Time. So that was definitely slower than normal. I could feel it's probably, I'm gonna guess maybe just under 30 seconds. It all boils down to controller, really. How well bikes do on that hill climb test is the size of the controller. That's all it is. They all have 750 motors. This one has a smaller controller. It's 20 amp. Some of the other ones I've tested have been 24, 25, even 30 amp controllers. And they go up the hill just faster. It just boils down to feeding more power into that motor. So I guess the way you gotta look at it is, I mean, it carried 180 pounds me up that hill, no problem. I mean, it wasn't in danger of not making it. But if you weigh 280 and you live in the mountains and you're looking for a bike that's gonna carry you up and down hills, throttle only, no help from you, yeah, it's probably ain't the one for that. But if you live in an area like I do where it's relatively flat, it's pretty hard for me to find hills to do these hill tests. This bike's been able to take me pretty much anywhere I want to go with plenty of power. So think about what you need out of your bike. So the Ride1Up Turris seemed to have a much easier time conquering those commuter speeds as opposed to doing throttle only hill climbs. But in my time with this bike, it seemed to have enough power to pretty much take me anywhere I needed to go. And to me, that's kind of the whole point of the e-bike, right? It allows you to ride further, ride faster, make the ride easier when you need it to be a little bit easier so your legs aren't on fire. And also to make the ride fun. And the Turris did that. Now, in terms of power delivery, I do have a couple clips to show you there. Now, the power delivery on this bike is pretty gradual. So I'm going to do an acceleration here. You can see. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. It's a slow kick in. I usually call it a friendly acceleration. I wouldn't worry about putting anyone on this bike because it's not going to get away from you really. You don't have to worry about hitting that throttle and they're flying off the bike. It's a very nice gradual kick in and then kind of builds after that. So I'll do it again here. Go. There you go. That's an acceleration on the Turris. And the brakes have a ton of bite. Really strong brakes. I'm not sure what the brand is on them. They have a lot of feeling in the levers. They bring you to a stop immediately. Very happy with the brakes on it. One more brake test. Very nice. I like those brakes a lot. Probably also helps too that this bike is so lightweight. There's not as much weight to stop. Now I always like to take a moment and go over the pedal assist system because there's a couple different ways they can be set up. Some are good, some not so good. This one is a cadence sensor, so you just have to turn the pedals to get the power out of the motor. You don't have to actually push on them. They just recognize when they're rotating and give you power. The more important thing to know about this pedal assist is that it's power-based or watt-based. So in Pedal Assist 1, it's giving me a certain amount of power. It's not linked to any speed limit. I don't like those ones when they're linked to a speed. You start pedaling and the bike takes off and it drags you up to like 10 or 12 miles an hour and then the motor cuts out. This one doesn't do that at all. This has got a set amount of power it's giving me. So power meter right there. As I turn the pedals, I'm at 104 watts in Pedal Assist 1. And it doesn't matter how fast I'm going. If I'm going 11 miles an hour or if I get it going up, let's see, there's 14, 15 miles an hour, it's still just giving me 104 watts. It's going to give me 104 no matter how fast this bike is going. That's a good setup. That is, I feel, the way it should be. Your pedal assist defines how much power you want from the motor, and speed has nothing to do with it. I like that. And on top of that, you can actually fine tune this one. I know this display looks, basic with it's just black and white, small off to the side, but it's very programmable. There's a feature in there. It's SCA, and you can go in and you can set how much power is delivered in each pedal assist. So you can fine tune it and say, hey, pedal assist 1, I just want 10% power, or I want 20%. And you can go in all levels, 1 through 5. You can set how much power you want in each one. I think I have one set at like 15%. 2, I think I set to like 25%. Let's do pedal assist 2 and pedal. What do we get? 207 watts. It's just going to hold that 207 consistently no matter how fast I go. Good system. I like it. Well, as you saw, smooth power delivery, what I call friendly power delivery. It eases into the power. Ample stopping power. The pedal assist system works great, being that it's tied to a power output instead of a mile per hour marker. The bike doesn't care how fast you're going. It's delivering you a constant amount of power based on the level you select. I like that setup a lot. I think that's the way to do it. It keeps you from having to constantly adjust your pedal assist based on if the bike is increasing or decreasing speed. And it also allows the rider to go in the display and fine tune how much power is delivered in each level, which is a great feature. But now let's discuss comfort and ride quality. Here's my experience there. A very classy looking e-bike. Love the matte green with the tan sidewalls. Really sharp, great looking bike. Let me show you the ride height. I got the seat way up because I'm 6 feet tall, but the seat goes down to 32 inches minimum seat height. That's pretty short, but very good upright ride position for me. I like the ride position a lot on it. Now the ride position for me is pretty comfortable. I mean, I'm pretty upright, which I like. The handlebars have this good rise in them, which allows you to sit more upright. I'm an old guy. I don't want to be lean over the handlebars with all the pressure on my hands, and I don't care how high the seat goes. I'm not trying to get full leg extension. I just want a nice, comfortable, smooth, easy ride. I got a motor. I got an electric motor. I don't need to put a lot into the pedals, but it is pretty comfy. The front fork does a nice job. There is no rear suspension though, and no suspension post. So if you're on a bumpy field, you are gonna feel all the bumps. All right, I guess we are gonna do a little bit of off-roading. And I can feel already, it's pretty bumpy with no rear suspension, and you are gonna feel everything through the seat. You're gonna have to get up off the seat. No big deal though. Front fork seems okay though. I can't really bottom it out. I tried jumping on the handlebars and it doesn't really bottom out. It's got good, I call it like pressure or spring rate, whatever the proper term is. Hopefully it's not too muddy through here. All right, let's keep going. I'm not a big off-road trail rider on occasion, but I mean, I can tell you so far, seems to be doing fine. I feel like I got plenty of power. I'm in pedal assist 1. I'm just holding the throttle for full power. I'm in second mechanical gear, so I got plenty of power to get through here. I think I'd probably be more comfortable on the roads on this one, but no problem off-roading. No trails. We're just on a wide open power line here. The tires feel like they got enough grip. They got a little bit of knobbiness to them, so I do have traction here. Okay, I guess you can take it on some trails or off-road a little bit if you want. So I enjoyed the ride position on this one. The handlebars have enough of a rise in them that you get a more upright seating position. You feel taller on the bike. I like that. I'm a fan of that. And that's part of this bike's whole designation as an adventure tour. It's supposed to be something you can ride longer without getting so much shoulder and arm fatigue because you're leaned way over the bars. So I did enjoy the ride position. The lightweight frame coupled with the skinnier tires makes it feel very, very nimble compared to the fat tire bikes. And then the tires, the Kenda boosted tires, had enough tread. I was able to do some light off-roading, no problem. Wasn't slipping out from under me. I think the only thing I would add to this would be a suspension seat post just to smooth out some of the bumps. Now, I did find two notable qualities on the Turris that I think might give it a competitive advantage. Take a look. Probably one of the biggest standout things of this bike is the weight. 58 pounds. I'm surprised at that. That's shockingly light for an e-bike. Just 58 pounds. I'll show you how light it is. You ready? Can't do this with a fat tire bike. I mean, that was pretty effortless. Wow. Probably one of the lightest bikes I've ever been on. Even some of the small folding bikes aren't that light. So I'm impressed with the weight. And then the other thing is the motor and how quiet the motor is. The motor's running right now. You can't hear it at all. No noise. This motor is like silent. I've had some really buzzy loud motors in some of these commuter bikes. This thing is near silent. Listen. I mean, you don't even hear the thing. I'm pretty certain I could ride this past someone with the motor going and they would not even realize that it's an electric bike. What can I say? Very impressed with how lightweight this bike is and also how quiet the operation is. Those are two things that I often hear complaints on, so two definite advantages for the Turris. Now, one final question you might have is how's the bike's quality? How's the support? Well, in terms of quality, I can really see some nice touches on this for a $1,200 e-bike. The color scheme and the graphics are great. The tan sidewalls of the Kenda tires really adds to it. Some of the welds are ground smooth, just giving it a more finished look. The grips they used are locking grips. They're nice soft rubber. They didn't put on those cheap ones that no one likes. And when you start to get near that $1,000 mark, companies will often really cheap out on the front fork, and they didn't do that here. The trauma fork seemed to work great. The battery is UL 2271 certified, and it integrates really nicely into the frame. I can tell they spent some time up at the front doing some cable management, wrapping everything up nicely, which is always much appreciated. The taillight, how it integrates into the rear fender, that turned out really nice. And everything worked well for me. The motor was smooth, the battery slides in and out of the compartment nicely, the brakes work great. I didn't have any issues with it. I just assembled it and rode it. Now, if you do experience any issues with your bike, Ride1Up has US-based technical support and customer service. Or if you're looking for aftermarket support, I know they have several accessories on their website that fit this bike. Suspension post, seat, rack, basket, bags. So if you want to dress the bike up, you can. All right, folks, well, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Thanks to Ride1Up for giving me a chance to test the Turris and to share my experience with all of you. I really hope you found it helpful if you're considering this bike. I'll link it below so you can find it easily. Remember to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.